Hey everybody, if you've watched gaming videos on YouTube at all over the past decade or so, you're probably familiar with this sound. This is actually the intro to one of my favorite gaming channels on YouTube. It's called Gameranx. It's an absolute OG when it comes to the gaming space in YouTube. In case you don't know, Gameranx is run primarily by this guy. His name is Jake Baldino, and the channel is famous for its early impressions style videos for games called Before You Buy. I was just browsing YouTube a couple weeks ago, and I saw this video of Jake on his personal channel talking about how he was celebrating 10 years of Before You Buy videos, which is insane.
My name is Jake Baldino, and I've been making those Before You Buy videos on YouTube for 10 years now, officially. You know, those videos you see spammed all over your algorithm?
First of all, congrats to Jake. 10 years on YouTube is a huge accomplishment, but that also got me wondering, how much money does Gameranx actually make? I want to answer that question in this video by first taking a look at Gameranx's most popular series, those Before You Buy videos, and see how much they can be making with just one of those. Now, they do other types of videos on their channel as well, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But to start with, I looked up their last 10 Before You Buy videos, which were at least like 2 weeks old at this point, and I came up with an average view count per video. So here's what I found. Death Stranding 2, 863,000 views. FBC Firebreak, 326,000 views. The Altars, 506,000 views. Mind's Eye, 827,000 views. Dune Awakening, 924,000 views. Mario Kart World Tour, 644,000 views. Switch 2, 938,000 views. Tainted Grail, 409,000 views. Elden Ring Night Reign, 1 million plus views. And Game of Thrones King's Road, what is that? I don't even know. This also got 1 million plus views. So as you can see, there's a bit of variation here, which most likely comes down to how popular the game is, or really like how much hype or controversy there is around those games. But still, these numbers are massive for any channel, and this is just part of their overall video strategy. But with those last 10 videos in the Before You Buy series, you're getting an average of 743,000 views per video. So knowing that, we can then plug those views into a simple formula to see how much money Gameranx is making per review. The next part of the puzzle is going to be their YouTube AdSense, which is how the majority of gaming channels like myself and even Gameranx monetize their videos, right? It's from YouTube playing ads on top of those videos. Now, this can vary per channel and even per video. There's lots of factors, but I think we can safely estimate that Gameranx makes at least $5 per 1,000 views, which is kind of the industry standard from what I've seen for gaming channels on YouTube. Now, this is a stat that's shown in different ways across your YouTube analytics. CPM is what a lot of people usually think of, but typically this is what the advertisers are paying to YouTube. It's not how much you're making. So you need to look for a different stat called RPM, which is your revenue per 1,000 views. It's going to be lower than CPM, but this is realistically what you will actually be paid from YouTube. That's your RPM stat. So again, it might be more for Gameranx, it might be less, but that $5 RPM is a good estimate, I think, for the purposes of this video at least. So 743,000 views divided by 1,000, that gives us our RPM multiplier, which is 743. We then times 743 times $5 per 1,000 views, which works out to roughly $3,718 per video. Now, that is pretty impressive. If you figure Gameranx does at least 3 to 4 of those Before You Buy reviews per month, which I'm pretty sure they do last time I checked, that's an easy 10 to 15K in ad revenue alone just for those reviews. But of course, that's not all that Gameranx does on YouTube. They actually do way more than those. Over the years, Gameranx has really expanded their gaming channel into multiple different video formats. They're all related to gaming, obviously, because that's what the channel is. But this has been a really smart move because without other types of videos, they would have been just limited to game reviews, and there's only so many games which come out per month that people are actually interested in learning about. Gameranx, for example, has this video series, New Games for the Month. They do one every month. That's an easy 500K to 1 million views for those. Gameranx also has a very popular like top 10 series. Sometimes they do top 20, top 25, but that basically gives them infinite options for future videos. If you really think about it, there's no limit to the amount of top lists that they can create. Lately, they're even expanding into more video game news and topical style videos, like this recent video that they just did surrounding the Xbox layoffs, which hit 1 million views like very quickly, which makes me think that gaming news is going to be another series or another type of videos that Gameranx is going to push even more on their channel. So somehow over the years, they've managed to scale up into the realm of one video per day. And we're talking full-on long-form YouTube videos here, not shorts. So this is pretty much like very difficult to do in the gaming niche, but you can see the results are simply incredible. In just the past month, less than a month in fact, Gameranx has clocked nearly 25 million views between those review videos and all their other video series. This puts them in the top 2,000 channels across YouTube. Not just talking gaming channels, mind you, but across all of YouTube. That is really insane. What's even crazier is that when we use our baseline of $5 RPM, which is, again, on the lower edge of the estimates too, this could definitely be higher. It could be like $6 or even $7 RPM for Gameranx. That puts them at around $125,000 for ad revenue per month, or $1.5 million per year. Are you shocked yet? I don't think people realize just how much money YouTube gaming channels can actually make when you grow them consistently over time, just like Gameranx has done over the past 10 years. Obviously, huge credit goes to Jake and his team for pulling this off and turning their hobby into a multi-million-dollar business. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Gameranx channel in the comments section down below. Is this a channel that you actually watch? And do you have your own gaming channel, or are you thinking about starting one? But either way, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.